I wonder if that's gonna make it through or not.
I don't think so. Hi, I'm Hannah, and this is
Phil.
Thanks for watching. Welcome to Hannah G Knits. If you are new here, I'm so glad this video found you. If you're a returning viewer, then you know this is my 5K celebration for getting 5K subscribers, and also for having 50 project updates videos. And then this is my husband Phil.
You told me that it was 50 videos.
Yeah.
I see the 5K.
Yeah,
okay.
and 50 project updates, so they coincided nicely.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So this is my husband Phil, and he is going to be reading the questions that you guys sent in. So I had asked, what should I do to celebrate? And the most chosen one was a Q&A. And so last time we did a Q&A video, I'm pretty sure I just asked the questions myself and then answered them. But we thought it'd be kind of fun if Phil came on just to chat. And yeah, I'm really excited you're here.
Yeah.
Phil said he's not good on camera. I haven't seen you on camera, so I don't know if that's true, but I think you can.
For work, I've done like voice recordings.
Oh,
and I'm
okay.
very hypercritical about my voice recordings.
Okay.
So this feels a little bit better because it's like with a group, like a duo.
My audience is very kind.
Okay, cool.
So
I read the comments.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I don't watch the videos too often.
It's okay.
Because the knitting stuff kind of just like flies over my head. But I do read the comments pretty religiously.
Yeah.
Thanks for being kind to my wife. The comments are always so sweet. It's really special. So, yeah.
Okay, you want to get started?
I will.
Okay, so I did not prepare answers for these. I kind of like, with my project updates videos, I like to just go and see what happens. But I did read through the questions and type them out for him, so I kind of know, put them in a little bit of an order to kind of go through. And then if there's a question he can answer too, you're welcome to answer as well.
So the first question is, what is the backdrop behind you?
Okay, the first question is funny because I actually get this a lot. And the other day I had a baby shower, and not all of our friends have been to our new house. And so a lot of them came in and they're like, oh, that's where that is, because it's in our living room. So I'll take a picture of the whole like living room and show you, but you walk in and it's the living room and it's just like this wall that was here when we toured the house, moved in, and it's the only one. It's not like we live in a cabin or anything. Yeah, this is it's the living room, right?
Can you drop the picture like right here?
Yes,
Okay,
I'll do that for you.
All right, I got you guys. Don't worry.
Yeah, so living room.
Okay. So the next one is, what is your yarn storage like at your new house?
What is my yarn storage like at our new house? It's in progress. At our last house, I had a big yarn closet, and it was a craft closet, and I kept all my craft stuff in it in the basement, and it was wonderful, and also I could just shove it all in and close the door. And since we've moved, we haven't prioritized as much getting our stuff organized, and I feel like it's coming. It's almost there. But anyway, so I have 2 bookcases that I'm putting all of my like yarn, craft. I just got a laminator. I was really excited about that. So all of that kind of thing is in the 2 IKEA bookcases. And I'll put a picture, yeah, right there, to show you. Now I still have some some little bookcases that I put them in, and some that's just still in bags because it's not as aesthetically, appealing, because the bookcases are in our room, and so there's not really a natural spot, like a extra room, really. But it's coming. I'll put some pictures in. It's looking okay. I'm not unhappy with it.
Our house is like stellar, and it's perfect. But the one thing that's different is it has like very minimal rooms, but just a ton of open space,
Yeah.
which we love. But it's made like certain things like the craft closet or like finding like a little like nook for like an office space or things like that, like trickier.
We've never had so much space, but also figuring out how to use it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, this is a very fitting question. How is your new house coming along? Part A, and then part B is, does it feel like home yet?
Okay. It feels like home. I think because from the minute we moved in, it was home. we like moved in the same day. Like, we moved stuff, and then we spent the night, and that was kind of it. So we wanted to try and make it I don't know, clean break sounds bad. It was difficult. I'm not really great at change, so I think that was hard. But from the beginning, we were like, okay, this is where we live now. We're not gonna like move back and forth and sleep there or come and go. And so kind of like had to feel like home. But it's gotten quite cozy. We have some rugs and all our stuff is everywhere, and it feels like, I don't know, it feels like home. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty great. Like, the previous homeowner had done a lot of work, like, in the garden and, like, in the backyard. So a lot of that was already settled for us.
It's taken me a little longer just because, yeah, that was the only other place we lived, and we lived there for like 6 years, and so it was a long time. It was a long time, and it was special. But yeah, this place is wonderful. I think the next question kind of goes into it too, like, what is your favorite thing about moving and your least favorite thing?
You're stealing my job.
I know, sorry.
I was brought here for one thing.
I think my favorite thing has been just like the new spaces and experiences, watching our son get to explore that. I think just even today, he was like, I want to play downstairs. There's so much room to explore. Like when he was playing hide and seek. And so that's been fun. Least favorite thing is just making the decision felt really hard. Both of us are very like cautious, that kind of thing. And so we're like, should we move? Should we not move? We thought about it for like a year or two. Yeah, what do you think?
Getting the old house ready for selling was not a fun process, just because you were trying to like divide it. But I also think that helped me feel like this was home more, because I saw the old house like completely emptied out and like was very done of being at the old house at a certain point. So little different perspective, but
that makes sense. Yeah.
My favorite. Oh, sorry.
No. I didn't really go back and do any of that. So.
My favorite thing is just the atmosphere of the neighborhood, and just like kind of the community that's around is really, really special. So we're very, very fortunate, grateful to have found this spot.
Definitely.
Okay.
What's
I think
next?
that now we're going into more knitting questions. So we're going to change gears.
I'll also put in the description box the timestamps for the questions. So if you don't want to hear about moving, skip ahead. If you don't want to hear about whatever we're talking about, just move to the next question.
Yeah.
And okay, go ahead.
Okay, cool. So no callbacks to old questions.
Okay.
So that way they don't get lost.
Okay, right.
Just kidding. I mean, you're just going to have to click back. I mean, you might
just watch it again.
Right, there you go. This one is, did you end up getting the Mouche and Friends book? Okay. And have you made more?
Okay. Yes and yes. I did end up getting the Mouche and Friends book, and I made one more after I made 3 for a sample knit. If you're new here, I will put the video up for you, but I made a special video just about Mouche and Friends. It's this beautiful book of little tiny animals that are very intricate and beautiful.
Like with backstories. Like origin stories and like...
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
origin stories, I guess. Yeah.
I'm just waiting for like the Prime Video cartoon on it that like Ollie and I can watch.
Yeah, there's like a little kids show.
Yeah.
It'd be very cute. So very sweet. I made that for a sample knit, and once I sent those off, I did end up buying the book for myself and making one for a previous teacher that I had a long time ago. And yeah, after that, I haven't made more. I've been thinking about it because I look in my yarn pantry and I'm like, oh, I have a lot of very small amounts of yarn, so they would be really good for Mouche and Friends. But yeah, if you aren't familiar, you can watch the video, but I talk about sample knitting as well, and that's the next question too.
The Mouche and Friends ones are like a work of love though, right?
They took me so long to make. The first ones, when I was making them for the sample knit, I had to send an email like right at the beginning and say, I'm so sorry. I only estimated this based on yardage, how long it would take me. This is going to take me way longer, because they were incredibly intricate. So definitely a good project, but I look back and I'm like, wow, that was like a marathon.
But you were tickled at certain points of it, because you're making like the pants for like the animals
the pants.
and stuff.
I made the clothes for them. Yeah. There was so much detail. Like the this is definitely a knitter thing, but like the feet on the animals, like it had a heel turn. So basically, you're like making a sock. Like I'd never seen that before in a knitted like stuffy before. So very intricate, very beautifully done. Definitely like heirloom, or like maybe to sit on your shelf kind of. kind of thing. Unless you're just like not concerned at all, you just hand it to your child. That would be fine too.
So that can go in the mud.
Oh, that would be very sad.
Devastated.
No.
You give it to somebody and don't think about it.
Yeah.
How often do you sample knit?
Okay, how often do I sample knit? So, sample knitting, I talked about it in my last video actually because I'm working on 2 right now, or I just sent one back. I sample knit maybe 3 or 4 times a year. I think this year I've only done 2, and they're actually both this month. But since you guys are knitters, you know it takes a long time to knit. Sample knitting is basically someone like a dyer, designer, yarn shop. They'll send you yarn, you make the whatever they want you to make, and then you send it back, and they pay you either in like shop credit or in money. And yeah, so I've been doing that for a few years now, maybe 2 years. Wow, it's been a while now. So I try not to take on too many and from too many different places. Right now I just knit for 2 different spots, and it's been really good. So maybe 2 or 3 a year I feel like is the sweet spot. Garments. Other things I'm like, okay, I can do that, but 2 or 3 garments.
What inspired you to start designing?
Okay, what inspired me to start designing? I was inspired to start designing, I think when I was pregnant with Ollie, I was looking at patterns to knit because I wanted to make something for him that would be special, but I struggled to find unisex or boy patterns. Just didn't see a lot of like genderless boy patterns, boyish patterns, I guess, that I could make for him. And I was kind of disappointed. You know, I think it's super cute to have, you know, lace and ruffles and all of those things, but I just wanted something that was more genderless and simple, but still had those like details that we like in our adult knitting patterns as well. So that's kind of where it started, was discontentment with finding something to make for my son. But then after he was born, this is like a big part of I haven't talked about it in a while, our parenting journey was experiencing postpartum depression. And so after that, maybe within the first 6 months, we had that going on, and I felt like I needed something to connect with him, I guess. And designing and knitting for him became a really good way to do that, even though I was struggling to connect in other ways. And so that was kind of the first, like, I don't know, idea of like how it came to be. It was like something I could do for him that would connect us together. So that's why a lot of my patterns are like named after him or named after my nephew, because he's a cutie too. But yeah, I have like Ollie's Everyday Slipover. I can't remember the names of all my patterns right now, but I'll put them, they're in the description. So yeah, that's kind of where I started.
Where does your creativity come from?
Where does it come from? I don't necessarily describe myself as a creative person. And so I think for my designs, I would say I look at a lot of the knitting trend reports for the coming year, see, you know, what's in style that year, but also I really like them to just be, for my designs, to just be kind of like staple pieces, classic silhouettes, simple stitch patterns, things like that.
Part of it comes from like kind of just like filling the gaps that you've always found, right? And it kind of goes back to the last question.
Yeah.
Because I mean, a lot of your patterns are, there's not anything like this for
That's
kids,
true.
and like you kind of find like those gaps and like kind of look within those spaces, right? So, I mean, just if you were dovetail those questions together.
No, that is so true. I definitely look for what I'm not seeing.
Yeah.
what kind of things could go well, or do I want to make for, you know, my son?
You also look through Ollie's closet and figure out what he doesn't have. Sometimes
Yeah.
it feels like, right?
Like, okay, he needs a pullover, or he could use a, you know, yeah,
right.
Definitely.
So, ooh, this one's interesting. I know the answer to this for Ollie, but if you could only knit with one color, which color would you choose?
Oh, I saw this one. This was really difficult to me. Ollie would choose blue.
Yeah. Ollie's all blue.
All shades of blue.
Everything.
Yeah. What color would I choose? I did think about this. Is the one question I was like, I'm not gonna think about these before because I want it to kind of be, you know, like a live interview style.
Right.
But I thought about this one, and I didn't come up with an answer.
Oh, come on, you gotta have an answer.
I know. I don't know. I was kind of thinking like if I chose pink, I could have like a wide spectrum of pinks, like almost like a maroon, but then like a light pink, and then like a rose, yeah, like pink. And I wear a lot of those colors, or I have a lot of things like this would go with that. So that's kind of where I was like, pink.
You wear all the muted pinks.
Yeah, lots of muted. I actually was like, I think I need a new pink sweater this winter. And then I went to look in our closet, and I was like, oh, I have like 5. I don't need a new one. So that might be, I don't know, that feels kind of safe. But I
don't think that's safe.
You know,
it's pink. Yeah. Pink is not safe.
Well, the other one was just cream.
Okay.
Or like beige, like shades of beige.
I'll speak for the viewers. I think that's an acceptable answer.
Acceptable or unacceptable?
Acceptable.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you guys tell me. So the follow-up to that was current favorite color to knit with.
Okay. I'm currently knitting a blue sample, and I don't know that I have knit a blue sample or a blue sweater garment for myself in years. So I'm kind of leaning towards I might want to knit something blue this winter, but currently I'm knitting a lot of or have knit a lot of more like neutrals, like brown, cream, that kind of thing. And I'm really liking that because it feels very wearable.
Okay.
Practicality. Yeah. What is your favorite color to knit with? I would love to hear that. You guys can always answer the questions as well, because I know a lot of you have a lot more fun colors than I do.
I just love that, like, knowing your sister, Abby, when you watch this, I know that your answer is gray. And gray is a great choice.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of good grays. Whenever I go to the yarn shop with you, there's always different grays. There's really dark grays, light grays. It's all over. Okay, well, this one is favorite mohair yarn.
Oh, this is easy. Favorite mohair yarn, Knitting for Olive, soft silk mohair. That is my favorite mohair. I really don't know that I've used a lot of other mohairs, mostly because I used this one and I liked it, and it might be itchy for some people, but I haven't found it itchy. Yeah, I like it. And you can get it there are shops in the U.S. that carry it if you're a U.S. viewer. I know European viewers, you can just order straight from the shop, but there's starting to be a lot of shops that carry it here. So
This next one says, oh my goodness, I love your content, but why am I not subscribed?
What? You should subscribe.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to help her out.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay, you should like, comment, and subscribe to my video if you have not already. Okay, that was funny. That was really good.
Also, you can hit that. I don't know if they still do the bell icon. Do they still do the bell icon? Or like you get notifications?
Oh, yeah. If I
so you can always stay up to date.
Yeah.
Subscribing helps. If you don't have a good sub box, sub box is like it's kind of like, it's what my friend used to always call it. But basically, just I have a YouTube account. I keep up with a lot of people, and I'm always making sure that I have my subscription set up, so that way I can always walk through all the videos that I'm looking through. So not only does it help Hannah, but it'll help you and others. So yeah.
That was really good. That surprised me. I was not expecting that.
So actually, like earlier in the take, I just did a common plug. I had to reset it, and I said,
He said he was going to sneak it in.
Yeah, I said I got a better one.
That was really good.
Okay, so this one is, tell us about you and your husband's love story.
Oh, okay. That's sweet. Well, we met in college. On the first day of college.
And
I
was the first person she met at college.
Yes. Yep. He opened the car door and helped me and my mom move in.
Yep.
Me move in. But yeah, he helped us move in. You helped my mom parallel park. Yeah.
Probably not effectively.
It was okay because you were smiling and you were waving. Yeah. And yeah, so first person I met in college. That was pretty funny. But so we lived in the same dorm. He was a resident mentor in the building, which is kind of like a resident advisor. And yeah, it ended up that we had a lot of mutual friends, and you already knew my sister, and yeah, so it was we became friends pretty quickly. started dating a few months later. Got engaged a few years later.
Yep.
Married the next year. Been married ever since.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you have anything?
No, it's just kind of funny because like people probably say like, oh yeah, don't marry the first person you find in college.
Right.
Don't have
I'm
a
not sure that
relationship.
even probably
But,
like don't date the first
yeah,
person.
don't date,
I don't
right?
even think like marrying them comes up.
Yeah, we're definitely in
Yeah.
the minority percent. But
I'm just so like, I mean, sometimes I think about it and like the timing, like, you know, all that. I'm just so grateful that there was one spot on the street to park. I don't know.
there was a lot of people helping.
Yeah,
don't
I
know,
couldn't
like,
have met
I talked with your
anyone.
mom more than I talked with you.
Yeah, I didn't really say anything because
You had a lot.
I was shy.
It wasn't like a love at first sight, maybe. Kind
No,
of thing. Like,
I don't think so,
but does it qualify as a meet cute?
oh yeah,
Potentially.
100%. Yeah, because
Yeah.
then I saw you everywhere because I literally saw you everywhere. You were at everything that we went to. My friends and I would go to just different things and you would always be there, so, which was great.
I was involved.
You were so involved. Well, you had to be too as part of your job. Like they'd always, I didn't go to the events because I wasn't in the program, but they're like, oh yeah, it was Phil's event or whatever, so.
Yeah. Slowly my involvement in things have like slowly gone down, but with
Yeah.
purpose.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
we were in
yeah.
college. You're involved in everything.
You get involved in
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
But now it's
That was
okay.
a fun one.
Yeah, thanks. This one says, "Are you doing much baby knitting?" And then they say, "Congrats again." The
Oh.
"congrats again" is a comment
Okay.
and not a question.
Okay, perfect. I wouldn't know
Just
how
to
to
be,
answer it.
just to clarify.
Okay.
Yes.
What was the question?
It was, "Are you doing much baby knitting?"
Okay, okay. Not really. No, I have knit 2 things for baby, and I brought them over to show you. I finished my blanket sample, which is a new design that's coming up. Sorry, the lighting is not great. We're recording this after our son is in bed, so it's a little dark, but it's okay. And then I knit this other one, which is Micah's Raglan tee for her as well. So those are the 2 things that I've knit, and they were because they were samples for my designs. But, oh, I made some socks too, some little tiny socks, which are very cute. But I think I haven't knit that much because August is kind of really hot here. And I think I'll do her, like, winter sweater a little bit later on was kind of my plan.
It doesn't take long to knit.
No, I
It's so
don't
small,
think it
right?
would take very long to knit. And I'm kind of waiting to see what size she turns out to be.
Okay.
So our son was very, very small when he was born, and so I had made him a sweater, but it did not ever fit him. I mean, I think it fit him the next year, honestly. So kind of waiting to see that, and then maybe knit it up like when she needs it because it will be so fast.
Yeah, and the size thing is a very valid concern. I am 6 feet 3 inches, and Hannah is 5 feet 2 inches. So
Yes.
there is a bit of a.
There's like a foot between us, so
Yes.
it really could go either way. That's funny. Yeah, you probably don't know that.
You would never know.
Yeah, especially from this, like.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a. Maybe we should. I'll put a picture in or something. Maybe us in college, like
Okay,
young
right.
and awkward, and
Yeah, there you
the
go.
height is like really
bad.
significant. Yeah. That's funny. But yeah, I haven't done a ton. I don't know. The other day, Ollie said he asked what color sweater I was going to make him this year, which I'm like, of course, blue. Why did you even ask? But then I was like, okay, I got to make him a sweater.
The next one comes from someone looking for a leak.
Okay.
Any reveals for baby girl's name?
Any reveals for baby girl's name? No. We haven't finalized everything, but we're definitely more in the camp of like, we're just gonna wait till she's here and then tell everyone. But also part of it is that like we love to tell our son. You said her name. We have like a first name. You said her name in front of him today, but he didn't catch it.
No.
But I would love to tell him first, but he'd probably tell everyone, which is, you know, you're 3.
Yeah.
You just talk about stuff, so.
He might not. He can be really secretive on certain things.
Yeah, he's good at keeping mysteries.
Yeah. So mystery.
It's a mystery.
Yeah.
People would ask him, though. I feel like people would ask him.
Yeah, definitely. If they know, if you guys know that you could get it, would you would be asking all like.
Oh yeah, would you ask a 3-year-old what his sister's gonna be named?
Yeah, he would tell you. He would tell you.
Yeah.
He's a sweet guy.
He might say, "Shh, it's a mystery," and then tell you. Yeah.
Okay.
How many more do we have?
3.
Oh, okay. Only 3 more questions. Okay.
I don't even know how long this has been.
The.
Oh. That's right there. All right.
This is on my longer end. Usually my videos are like 20 minutes, but we'll edit it too. But
okay. Favorite yarns / fiber content for baby and kids.
Okay, favorite yarn or fiber content for baby and kids. Off the top of my head, here's my kind of first thoughts on that. I don't think you have to be too careful or specific when choosing yarn for baby knits because all of the yarn should be safe for baby except for mohair, which you're not supposed to use mohair until they're over like 1 or 2. And I think on the Knitting for All of It site, it will tell you. But other than that, I would say if you're gift knitting, you should always choose like a super washable or an acrylic. If you're gift knitting for a baby that like you may not know or it's being mailed to someone, because those yarns are more forgiving. But if you're knitting for like a kiddo that you know, like you could ask them too, like, is this soft enough? Is this scratchy enough? But for my son, I tend to just use 100% wool. I don't generally use superwash, but for baby things, superwash might be better because you can throw it in the washer. It really depends on if it's for your own family, your lifestyle, what you feel comfortable with, and then if it's for a gift, then knowing either you know the person you're gifting, like they will throw this in the washer, it needs to not shrink, or like they, have a life where they take the time and they can do that kind of thing. Another thing to consider is price.
I was gonna say, what if you just said whatever's on the sales rack?
Well, I mean, yeah, that is very practical. Like as a parent knitting for your own child, you might choose something that's like on sale or something because like as a baby, they could go through like 3 different sizes in a year, But I also know a lot of people that use hand-dyed yarn for their kids because why not? Like, it's whatever you want to do. But yeah, so I would say you can use whatever content you want. Cotton is good for blankets because it can be washable, those kinds of things. But really when it comes down to it, baby stuff, superwash, acrylic. When you know the child though, you can always like ask or like, they really don't like scratchy things. I need to get them some like superwash or alpaca blend versus like, oh, they're fine, they're rough and tumble, they'll wear this outside, camping, get them some 100% wool. Yeah, I hope that helps.
Life's too short. Knit what you want.
Knit whatever you want.
Knit what you want. As long as you got the money and the means. If you want to ball out and get some really nice yarn for your kid. I mean, the only bummer thing is that they just grow and then they just grow out of it.
Yeah.
Which you put a lot of time into it. I feel like it's almost more about the time that you put into it versus the money.
The time, yeah. The time definitely, it takes some time. I do like the idea of being able to pass them on, to a friend, or if you have more than one child, you can pass them on. I don't know. Big fan of just using whatever you like personally, what works for you and your lifestyle. So.
This one I didn't expect. I didn't read through all the questions. I got this like right before.
Oh yeah, I shared it with him like right before.
Like 10 minutes before. What do you do to prevent moths?
Oh, what do I do to prevent moths? Okay, at our old home, I had everything in the dark, in a closet, in bags, with lavender sachets and wooden, like cedar balls. So that's what I had done previously. Now, I still have lavender and wood, cedar. I keep it in a cabinet. Some of it's still in bags. I've never had moths. I've had like a scare where I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a hole in this sweater. And then I'm like, oh, I remember I snagged it the other day. And so I haven't had that. It could also be where we live. We do have a lot of moths here, but I think keeping the lights off, like, I don't know if that's a weird one. But I have seen...
We walk around in the dark all the time.
For the sake of the
This is the rare
sweaters.
occasion where we have a light on.
I let us turn the light on for this. No, that's not true. One thing, I've seen a lot of good infographics like after winter. people talk about preventing moths, and I will try to link one. I think Amy Shah has a great one about the number one thing I learned from that infographic was washing your knits can help prevent moths because they're looking for like dirt and dust and stuff like that. So washing them every season after the season's over, then putting them away like in a bag. Did I do that this year? No. There was a lot going on. We were traveling at the end of the season and moving, and so I did not wash them this year, but that's one thing that I did not know was that like the dirt and dust can really attract the moths in. And to be fair, I don't get a ton of like wear out of my sweaters. It's not that cold here. I just wear them for like daily life stuff, but I'm not like camping, hiking, that kind of thing. But yes, that is one thing I'd like to do in the next year is to really get them a good wash, get them clean. Yeah.
I've definitely got spooked a couple times when I've let bugs in.
Oh yeah, it's definitely on my mind. I mean, are you really a knitter if you aren't thinking about it when you open the door at night and something flies in? Like, yeah, it's definitely one of those things. But I've never found like moth stuff. I'm sorry if you have. But yeah, also, if I get yarn from a trade or someone sends me yarn, things like that, I always just put it in the freezer or from the thrift store. Just go straight in the freezer for like 2 days and then bring it out.
I think like in Godzilla, there's like an equivalent of like Godzilla, but like a moth version. I think it's Mothra.
Oh gosh.
Which would be like a knitter's worst
Yeah.
nightmare. Someone needs to make like a spoof or like something up for that. Like it'd be pretty funny.
Yeah,
that
would be funny.
Yeah. The last one. This is